Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to an interesting week. We've got Thanksgiving coming this week. A nice 3-game slate here on Thursday on Thanksgiving, leading into a nice main slate this weekend. Today we're going to cover what went on week 11, as well as my picks for week 12 on the main slate for the weekend. So let's jump right in. So last week, things went haywire again. I can't ever remember a year where Sunday, Saturday evening, things just get crazy. Wind, terrible weather, snow came into a lot of games last Sunday and really affected some of the picks and some of the directions I was wanting to head, including with my favorite game stack, which included Alex Smith to Travis Kelce and bring it back with Sterling Shepard. Number one, Sterling Shepard was ruled out Friday night or Saturday night with migraines. So that came as a surprise. Obviously, I had to move away from him. Then on top of it, the game was wrought with terrible weather and wind. So I actually got a little bit away from Alex Smith. I held on with Travis Kelce as I was looking at some data over the weekend. He, being a tight end, isn't affected as much by wind. It was really the only bright spot in the game. So yeah, Alex Smith did not hit value. A lot of extenuating circumstances that were unknown last week when I recorded the video that moved me off of him. So Kelce had a good game, looking for 16.4. Went for 20.9, just missed getting a touchdown, and also threw an interception because, when you got wind and bad weather, let's run a gadget play with your tight end to throw a pass and see what happens. They lost the game. It's just a weird, terrible game. Speaking of tight ends, I had Mercedes Lewis on there, my flowchart pick of the week again. And yeah, was only expected for 5 points. He was a very cheap option. Caught a touchdown here. Here we go. Flowchart works again. 10.6 points. Didn't smash, but definitely exceeded value at his price point. Was a great play. Bruce Ellington was the cheap wide receiver option, kind of the chalk on the week. We were looking for 8.4 points, got us 12.8, exceeded value. Again, nothing that was super smash worthy, but at his price, it opened up so many other players to get to your Mark Ingrams, to get to some higher price, receivers and running backs there. And finally, Jarvis Landry, a little bit paying up here, but thought there was good value there. Was looking for 14.3, got us 20.5 points, had a really nice game. He's starting to come around quite a bit, and so really overall still had good exposure to him and helped me have a nice profitable week. Definitely did well in cash and in GPPs, pivot away from some different things, and it all kind of came together. So let's look here at this week. What am I looking at this week for a favorite game stack? I'm looking at this Atlanta Buccaneers game. So I'm looking at Matt Ryan to Julio Jones and Mike Evans, is playing the bigger names. And these guys that have kind of underperformed this year. So this is a 49-point Vegas total with a 10-point spread. So, kind of a decent-sized spread here as there's been injuries and different things for the Buccaneers, but still a pretty good spot. Now, Tampa Bay's defense has given up 42.43 DK points per game to the wide receiver position, and they gave up 60 points last week to that position. This has been a defense you've wanted to target this year. Get some receivers going against it. They give up points. Who better than Julio Jones? Now, Julio continues to see great targets, right? 10, 8, 12, 6, 13, 7, 4, 12, 9. But what you'll really notice in there is in that volume, he's had one touchdown this year. They've had trouble getting it to him in the red zone. And I just think that could change. You cannot continue to see this many targets, this much volume without hitting pay dirt more often. And now he gets a great matchup. So people may be scared off. I mean, he's had some pretty good games, been a little inefficient with his targets, and really hasn't had that super explosion game like last year against Seattle when he had like 300 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. Hasn't had that game. Don't know that he does that here, but I definitely think a multi-touchdown game is possible. At the very least, 100 yards and a touchdown, which, we could be above the field here. So probably going to see lower ownership due to that bias, so that's where we want to kind of pounce. And the Atlanta defense has been average this year. Hasn't been, great. Hasn't been terrible. But they have given up over 28 DK points per game to the wide receiver position. You can just see how bad Tampa Bay is in comparison. But that's still a position that we can kind of attack. And so Mike Evans, since Fitzpatrick has come in, has seen good targets other than the game he was suspended. But 10-6-10 still hasn't gotten to the end zone, right? So hasn't posted a huge game, but is getting the ball thrown his way. And I always think of Fitzpatrick back in New York at the Jets when he had Brandon Marshall, just targeted him a lot in the red zone, a lot of touchdowns. I think Mike Evans is a similar type receiver that he's going to have some comfort with. And so, again, we've got 49-point total. We can feel a shootout coming, right? I think it's going to hit the over, too, right? Over 49 points. I think this could go back and forth, be one of the better games of the day. And so I'm targeting the high-profile receivers in this game in the hopes that happens and these guys kind of take off. So let's look at tight ends. Number one going a little different here, but the flow chart is continuing to evolve a little bit. And now I'm looking at Jared Cook going against Denver. So this is a 43.5-point Vegas total with a 5-point spread. And Denver just continues to hemorrhage points to the tight end. It's really remarkable. This Denver defense just has been the no-fly zone. Like, you haven't played any pass catchers against this defense for a few years, and they have just not been themselves this year, including at this position. Cooks is really, Jared Cook has been very consistent on targets, just not the touchdowns. Look, he's got 5, 9, 5, 7, 3, 6, 8, 6. Just one touchdown in there, but they're looking his way, right? Which is a good thing. And now he's going up against a defense that, gave up another touchdown last week to the position. I think it's a good spot. And again, a lot of people see Denver get scared off. Maybe they don't want to click on a Jared Cook. But Oakland's coming off a poor performance right down in Mexico City. I think they're looking to bounce back here. So Jared Cook, I think, makes a lot of sense. Could get us, a big game here going against Denver. So then the offense play, Tyler Kroft, looking at flow chart life here again. So 38-point Vegas total with an 8-point spread. Not a great game, but it doesn't matter. We're attacking the Browns. We're always attacking the Browns. It doesn't matter. Even Kroft has been kind of up and down with his targets. You can see here 3, 6, 2, 6, 4. He has some touchdowns in there, but up and down. But it doesn't matter. Look at Mercedes Lewis last week. His targets weren't that great. It's hard to want to play him. He was so cheap going against this team, and he caught a touchdown on, maybe 3 targets. It just doesn't matter. They can, continue to not be able to defend it. We continue to want to attack it. So that's what we're going to do, and we're going to hope that things continue until they stop getting touchdowns to the tight end position. I'm not going to stop playing tight ends against them. So let's look cheap wide receiver. I guess you'd say value wide receivers for another kind of tight week. I'm actually looking at another similar game stack here, and that's with Rashard Matthews and T.Y. Hilton. So this game, I feel like, has some fantasy goodness on both sides. We've got a 45.5-point Vegas total with just a 3-point spread. The Colts defense, I've been attacking a lot, been bad most of the year, but they've really, they've given up 39.1 DK points per game to the wide receiver position. Matthews continues to see a nice target share, 6, 7, 7, 6, 4, 6, pretty consistent. He's got 3 touchdowns in there, and he's been just a favorite guy of mine to target and to use. The Titans defense on the other side has given up 38.4 DK points per game to the wide receivers. So, they're one of the bottom dwelling defense special teams out there right now. They're struggling to defend the position. And T.Y. Hilton's only really had 3 good games this season, right? There's a 2-touchdown game, another 177-yard game, 153-yard game with a touchdown. And what do they have in common? That was Houston, San Francisco, and Cleveland. All terrible defenses. This is Houston, I believe, post-injuries that they sustained when they had started going downhill. So he likes to beat up on poor defenses, and here comes in the Titans, who have become a poor defense against the position. I just feel it's a spot he can, again, have his 4th good game of the season. They come hit and miss here, but when T.Y. was chalk the last time, he really hit. So I'm looking to go back to him here. His targets can waver, but again, another poor defense special teams that he's going to go against and hopefully thrive against in this spot. So that's it. Good luck to everyone playing here on Thanksgiving, as well as this weekend in Week 12. I hope everyone has time with their family, has some success this weekend, and you can like, subscribe, comment here on YouTube. Follow me anytime on Twitter at @mplanup. Thank you guys for being here. We'll be back here next week talking about the results of Week 12 and what's going on in Week 13. See ya.